MIBR were up 10-2 against NRG after the first half of Breeze, and they were so close to clinching out the series. But in this video, we're going to go over why you should never count NRG out, because they were able to mount an insane comeback down 10-2 on the second half of Breeze, and then eventually go on to win Summit as well, and take this series 2-1. And we're going to start here with round 13, the first round on the second half. NRG are on 2 rounds only, and this is a big round. If they want any chance of a comeback, they have to win this round. And they start this round off, right? And you can actually see here with NRG's buy. They do go for a very interesting buy here. They actually buy 4 Sheriffs and then Mata's on a Ghost, right? So, obviously with 4 Sheriffs, you can see that their plan on this round is you have Mata kind of jiggling A main for Info, and then the rest of the guys are just going to walk up mid, right? They smoke off mid doors and throw a recon top mid. And what they're doing with this 4 Sheriff buy is they're just looking for a fight, right? Because with Sheriffs, if the enemy team, like, if a player has no armor, which you can see none of the players on MIBR do, they are basically 1 headshot to the Sheriff, or more importantly, 2 body shots to the Sheriff. And the 2 body shots with the Sheriff is what NRG are playing for. So they start off the round. I'm just going to mute the audio actually. And they're just going to be walking up mid, looking for some kind of engagement, because they know that purely off the weapons, they have an advantage, right? And as Kiko works up top mid here, what he actually does here is he actually spots the Cypher Cam, breaks the Cypher Cam, and now what that does, now Tex has to actually shift their full attention towards tunnel, because NRG could be coming from mid at any point, so Tex now has to watch mid and can't fully watch B main. And what's going to happen is we will watch the round play out here. NRG actually fully group 5 back towards B main, and they go for an exit here, right? KO knife onto site, Silver Dart back site, and they hit the B site. And because Tex had to worry about tunnel, now he's not ready to help Verno on site, and Verno's basically on his own. Kind of unlucky he gets, like, you know, spammed through the cage, but, you know, I mean, if you look at this situation, I think we could all agree Verno was probably going to die at some point anyways. So yeah, NRG are able to take the B site here, and then, you know, Tex gets pinged out, dies as well, and 5v3 now for NRG. I do really like this post plan from NRG, right? Like, you know, 5v3, obviously, you know, it looks secure, but it's not totally secure, and NRG do a really good job of just making sure to keep this round as clean as possible and, like, try to get the momentum going for them, right? And so what happens here is NRG actually group, like, you have Scuba here tucked in this corner, but all 4 NRG players are, like, playing towards the backside area, right? So MIBR, with only 3 players, have to come and take this whole part of site and then fight this absolute clump of players. And as you can see, it's just with 4 players, right, back here, and they got Sheriffs, Models got a Ghost, it's just so hard for MIBR to really have any chance of this retake.
Can they be out? Can they be out?
Yes, they are out. They are out.
Back up to you, back up to you. I'm backing.
We're good like this. I'm playing anti right here, okay?
One's backside,
Backside
boys.
now.
Call anti.
Backside too.
Pillar one.
Pillar.
Jumping up. Nice.
There we go, bro.
Good job, us.
Okay, so on to round number 15. This is the bonus round now for NRG. You can see they've actually bought really well here. Like, they were able to keep rifles from the second round. And then Kiko, Ethan, and Brock bought up rifles again. So this is, like, basically a full buy going into a full buy. Really good chance for NRG to win this round. And they are able to convert. And we're going to see how they convert this round, because this is the round, I think, that really starts the comeback, right? You win the bonus round. Your economy is an amazing spot, and the enemy team's economy gets shot big time. And so, yeah, again, they go for this smoke, or this cove mid-doors, to take away info from MIBR, and then they also actually throw an early start of Silver Dart into A main. So MIBR are now worried about that. They could be walking up A. But what NRG ends up doing is they kind of just group towards the B site for a B hit, right? It seems like they really trust their B hit, and we'll see it many times again this game. I think that was kind of a weakness for MIBR, was the defense of the B site, right? They couldn't really hold it down much this half, and NRG seemed to kind of abuse it. So yeah, NRG group up here for a B hit. Silva shots come in. They don't break any trips, but, you know, none of the trips were placed at the choke anyways. And yeah, they do go for this hit. KO knife in. Tex pops both his cages, and the dart actually pings out Mata. And so Tex here gets a spam down onto Mata. Looking great for MIBR. They should be able to convert this round. But then I think this is the first crucial error for MIBR in this game, is just, I'm not sure what thinking is here, right? Like, you have a 5v4, you've just killed the spike carrier, so, you know, there's no immediate threat of them getting the bomb down, you know, and setting up a post plant. And MIBR have 2 players. They have Zekin and Mizzino that are way back here. Like, they are not at all in the round right now. But Ospas and Tex, for some reason, decide to just run in and try and flood retake or something way too early. Basically, you'll see here, they flood with just themselves, and then for some reason, Verno is now droning. So yeah, I think just some kind of clear disconnect, miscommunication, because at this point, Verno's droning for, like, I don't know who. Like, you're droning for players that are way in front of the drone. And Ospas and Tex just basically die to Kiku and Scuba, just like that. And Mizzino and Zekin are, like, not even at all close to the retake right now, right? So now it's a 4v3 for NRG. And then the second thing is, I'm really not sure why Mizzino's throwing this wall, right? Like, he's walling, you can go back here, right? So Zekin's here, right? Mizzino actually throws a wall from here, like this. So in order for them to retake, like, you'll see what the goal of this wall is, right? The goal of this wall is to wall off this area, right? But because he throws it from here, now Zekin is blocked off and has to actually walk back through this wall. And then Mizzino also has to cross the wall once and cross the wall a second time. And you can see all first, you'll see, I think Verno dies first. Yeah, Verno just dies because, you know, he's got no one there to help him. And then Mizzino and Zekin run into a problem because they have to walk back through their own harbor wall. And so they're just, like, caught in, like, this little pocket here, and there's nothing they can really do. And NRG just take them down easily. So I think this wall, definitely a problem. I'm not sure if this was something they regularly threw in practice and never had any problems with it, but clearly there you could see there was a major problem with this wall where they end up both having to walk back into this tiny pocket through their own harbor wall, so they get slowed, and NRG just easily mow them down. And with that round, NRG are up to 5, and they start to climb back slowly. Okay, we're going to jump all the way ahead to round number 22. So NRG did win that bonus, right? And then they won the round after that, and they won 3 more rounds after that before MIB responded. And then NRG won another round, and now it's 11-10 for MIBR. NRG are only 1 round behind, and I think that this is the pivotal round where MIBR lose the game, because this is a round they really need to win, right? Like, you can see MIBR's economy. If they lose this round, they're not going to have a bye next round, right? Like, they'll be able to, like, buy up some rounds, but they're going to have to save and play for overtime. So MIBR really have to win this round, and unfortunately, as you'll see, things just go wrong at the wrong time for MIBR, and they go right at the right time for NRG. But I think this is a really well-round play for NRG. There's some really nice ideas, so we're going to go over them here. And so, to start the round, NRG do a KO knife into A main, and they also drone. But MIBR respond with the harbor one-way, and I forget what this ability is called, but you know what I mean, like this harbor thing, to push them back. And because of that, NRG instantly go like, you know, I'm going to flash through, and they're like, nah, we're just going to dip. We're not going to deal with this one-way for now, and we'll come back. And so they actually work back towards mid to kind of explore, re-clear, gain some info, and then what they end up seeing is, if we see here in a sec, Ospas and Tex are actually trying to peek out B here and look for some info themselves, and Brock spots both of them, right? So Brock instantly spots 2 players pushed out from B, and so NRG are like, alright, let's just instantly go back towards A, let's hit the A site, you know, that's a good, I think, immediate reaction, right? Like, if an enemy team is pushed out with 2 players towards the B site, you know, like, that shows that, you know, they're probably playing more passively towards A, right? So NRG do instantly react to hit the A site, and so now the exec comes in, and I think this is really neat, actually, right? Because what this harbor wall from Mizzino does is it's trying to hold the right side here, right? You see this wall? Because a lot of teams are trying to, like, exec through here, take this space, and then play the post plant. So MIBR have that in mind, and they're trying to put a wall here so that Zekin can hold this wall, and they can try to defend the site that way. But what's really smart that I like from NRG here is they actually do a deeper harbor wall that goes like this, and they actually try and fight around the left side. And it does get kind of brawly, but NRG are able to take the site a little easier, I think, with this, right? Rather than running through and probably dying the second, you know, a lot of trades do happen, and MIBR actually do eventually come up with the numbers advantage, but I do like the idea of NRG kind of switching up and not always going for the same thing, because I think if they did just like try and like run through this harbor wall, they probably get destroyed by Zekin and Zinio. So now 2v1 for MIBR. This is one where they absolutely have to convert, but, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I honestly don't think they played this that badly. They did kind of get unlucky with Mata hitting an insane shot, as you'll see in a sec, right? So 2v1 here for MIBR. Now, obviously, they don't exactly know where Mata is, so I do get why Verno's, like, you know, he's jiggling. He's obviously knows he doesn't want to overexpose himself, right? But they do kind of need to get an idea of where he is, because if they don't, you know, I think Verno and Tex here, they're a little too split up, that if you don't exactly know where Mata is, there's a high likelihood that he could, like, isolate the fights pretty easily and take down both. So, Verno kind of jiggles, and Mata hits, you know, I'm going to be honest, that is kind of an insane fast shot to hit. And then you can see here, Tex, unfortunately, just kind of blows this one away. I think he should have been the one that wins this 1v1, but NRG, resilient as they are, and why you should never count them out, because they just have the individual players that can pull off plays like this.
That's a nasty one. Locks on and locked in right now to the round, trying to get the win. Timing taken, Tex just looping right from behind. The shot missing, but time still. It's Mata has to get this plant down. Cove up in 2 seconds. Fight taken, and the bullets go wide once more. 5 seconds. Got to get this plant down here and now. There's no spamming chance. Tex doesn't have the bullets for, but he does have a bit of util. Cam going to be layered down, and still, it's a game of these timings. 6 bullets remaining. Not much life to work with. Mata stepping out, weaving. He's still alive. Still with chances. Commits to the reload now, but still again, Tex is hunting. He's circling. Smells of blood in the water. And he's just missed a chance.
And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think Tex had probably like at least 2 or 3 really good chances to kill Mata, and he kind of just whiffed, but you know. So now it's 11-11. NRG have tied the game after being down 10-2 at the half. And these last 2 rounds we're going to go over really quickly because they're kind of the same round. And what they do is they seem to just be really confident in their B hit here. And I think they've noticed that in the past rounds, MIBR, like Texas, never really put a trip on the choke point. And they've kind of played more of like a more retake, you know, kill trip setup on B. So NRG, I think, just felt really comfortable in these last 2 rounds just hitting B, right? And so, but this round here, I think this is really poorly played from MIBR because they actually guess right and they gamble stack B. If you do gamble stack, there's a really good chance that they actually are able to win this round if NRG just, you know, instantly push B. But for some reason, there just seems to be some complete disconnect between how they want to play it, because you'll see here, right? Like, NRG go for this exec, they throw the cove, or Mizzino throws the cove, and then, like, you know, to me, like, you set up, like, I don't know why you're throwing a stick out cove if you're on the defense, but, you know, if you put a cove, play some kind of, you got a crossfire here and here, you got Mizzino here, you got Verno here, like, this is an absolutely prime defensive setup to shut down a B-rush. But what happens is Ospos, for some reason, decides to solo go in and just dies, and then, you know, Mizzino peeks after that, Verno, I think he gets flash, but, you know, he doesn't play anti-flash, and so he gets flash, tucks behind the pillar, can't help Mizzino, and then Zekin is just sitting there playing trigger discipline, right? So, like, all 4 of these MIBR players were just not really on the same page. Like, I understand Verno, if he gets flashed, you know, fine. But the other 3 players, just, like, there was literally no cohesion in how they wanted to hold that. And I think that was a massive problem, and that just let NRG easily win this round.
But you can stop NRG! Just barreling over, taking the B side.
And yeah, we'll just go over the last round as well, round number 24, where NRG, once again, you know, you can look at what Tech is doing the strips. Like, there's a trip here, a cam here, and he's only got 1 trip this round. I think NRG clearly caught on that MIBR just were not putting trips on the choke, and they could literally just, you know, barge in, right?
Win in round 13, and, you know, neatly tied this one up with a bow.
So, yeah, NRG, they do just hit the B site here. I'll show a shot coming in, and they just hit it. And they do have Viper ult this round, so I think clearly the plan was, you know, just take B, pop Viper ult, and we win the round.
MIBR down. They back it up. Hunter's Fury is a little bit too late here, but it is going to be getting that connection. And a few more, maybe. One more burst of it. No real find of the kills, but still it is one towards them. Not a runner back going to be utilized, but there's walls on walls, and it's going to be stalling, and a spam straight through them. It's Texas the one who's going to be punished. Pays for the fight to be taken. In through backside now, one way to be called for. This is carnage into the final few moments, but NRG have been finding their way through. It's Aspas on the flank now, looking for the time to shine. Mazzino turning. Hereding, and now you're going to see it with the cove down. Tardan in the process needs to be spammed down. Kiko, but it's half earned. But still bursted down. Kiko, surely not a right click that bullets, and now finish with.
So yeah, a bit of a pop-off there from Kiko at the end, but with that round when NRG come back down 10-2 on Breeze to win 13-11, and they would go on to win Summit. MIBR came so close to winning a series 2-0 against NRG, but ultimately, NRG, you just can't count them out. They're super resilient, they have really good protocols when they're at their best, and they were able to come back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, you enjoyed the analysis. Let me know in the comments what you thought about NRG's comeback, and what you thought about this video, because this is only the second video I've made on this channel. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.